About a year and a half ago, I bought myself a Philodendron Gloriosum. It was a plant that I had really wanted, and I shopped online with you guys, and I ended up choosing the cheapest one that looked like it would be the best bang for my buck. I was a little suspicious about the listing, but I still decided to buy it because I just really wanted the plant and I really wanted to stay in my price range. I think I'm 100% getting this one. The only thing is this review, so that's kind of sus. Hopefully I'm not getting gypped because that would be a tragedy. Maybe that's why the price is so good compared to the other plants I've seen, but I'm gonna go ahead and go for it. We're gonna be back here in a few seconds with an unboxing to see if it was a good decision to purchase this plant or not. Spoiler alert, it was not a good decision. So when I got the plant, it looked great. Immediately though, I noticed that the roots looked kind of too wet. Please be okay, little roots. When I unwrapped the foliage, it looked so beautiful. I was so excited, but the roots were so completely rotted and I really wanted the plant. Moral of the story is you can always get another plant. But I tried my best to take care of the roots, pot it up, and see how it would go from there. The plant ended up getting worse and worse and worse, so I contacted the seller and they told me they could give me a full refund if I sent back the plant. I knew that the plant was not going to make it back to the seller, and I felt really bad because they were losing out on the revenue they would have made on that plant, and they're missing out on the plant, so they can't even make that revenue back. So I told them if they let me keep the plant, they could give me half a refund, which I don't know why I did that. I could have gotten the full refund and bought a new plant, but I don't know, I just felt really bad doing that. So it ended up costing me around $75 for it, which is a lot in the end, since it turned out I was just kind of trying to revive some stubs. So I tried a bunch of different things to try and revive them. I had some in water, I had some in sphagnum moss, and then I ended up putting it in like a little terrarium kind of thing where it got a lot of humidity. And in the end, only one of the rhizomes survived, which I'm so glad that any of them survived, because that would have been so depressing if none of them did. I potted that one up in soil, and that was when I was like, okay, this is it, because if it doesn't make it to soil, then we're gonna have to try and revive it all over again. But it ended up making it, and today we're gonna be repotting it into a bigger pot because it's finally outgrown its little 4-inch pot. I am so happy that I finally have my Gloriosum. It's a lot smaller than when I originally bought it, but I'm so happy that I have it in the first place. I feel like I definitely learned a lot through this experience. Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's get to repotting. I cannot express to you guys how excited I am that this thing is finally taken off. It has been so long since I bought it, and it just barely, I feel like, is exploding with new growth. So much so, it's time to repot it. When I first bought the plant, I didn't really know much about the growth patterns of Gloriosums. How I learned to take care of my plants is literally like on the job. I will learn how to take care of them as I'm taking care of them. So now, well, a lot of you guys also told me that it creeps along the ground. And so I got this pot, which is a squat pot. This is not a squat pot, but it's really short and it's wide. So I think it's called an Aurelia pot. And this is my beautiful Gloriosum. Look, its leaf is almost as big as my face. It'll be there one day. It'll be there one day. So this is the newest leaf, and I waited for it to fully unfurl and grow before I decided to repot it. Already the newest leaf is coming out. You can see this stem right here, or new leaf coming out, and the old leaves are kind of yellowing. I don't mind at all. I have this beautiful new growth. These are the 2 newest leaves. They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it grows. And as you can see, it's reached the end of the pot. So it's already starting to shape the pot into an oval. And I can see some roots at the bottom. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I'm so excited. Although I am a little bit nervous because it's finally growing so quickly. It's doing super well, and now I'm about to mess with its roots, which is my kind of what I'm worried about, but it needs a new pot, so I'm just gonna go with it anyways. So I already kind of made my little soil mix here. I have coco coir, pumice, fine orchid bark, charcoal, and worm castings. And I know I'm not gonna use all of this mix that I just made, but I am gonna use some of it. Maybe I'll use all of it, I don't know. This pot looks kind of bigger than I remember. So I'm gonna mix that up, and I also do want to look at the roots. So let's first look at the roots. I'm gonna dump out the old soil in this and be very gentle as I can be. Woo! You guys, it has so many healthy roots. It looks so good. Oh, this one leaf is kind of blocking everything. I'm gonna try and pull it off. Okay, I removed this leaf into the trash. You can see all the new growth. I'm so happy. My goodness, it has taken so long to get to this point. I was kind of worried that I was never gonna get to it. I'm just happy that this plant survived in general. I'm gonna try and remove the roots, remove all the soil and stuff from the roots, but I do not want to damage them even a tiny bit. I might end up going to wash them off, but I'm gonna actually go wash them off right now because I think that's the safest way to do this. So this is the base part of the plant. So I'm glad that it grew out this whole new healthy part, but I'm gonna rinse it off very gently like I mentioned. I removed as much of the soil as possible, but you can see there's a bunch of orchid bark and core chunks that it's still stuck to, and I don't want to break the roots trying to remove those chunks and everything, so I'm just gonna leave it, and we're gonna get to potting now. I need to mix this up. Okay, I mixed up this portion and I left all the core kind of chunks and everything because I'm just gonna put that in first so that everything can fall in between the cracks that it leaves behind. And I've found that to be the most simple way of creating this soil mix because the core doesn't really mix. Oh no, I've been trying to avoid breaking that root tip and I broke it. Oh my god. There was a new root coming in from the newest growth and I've been trying to avoid breaking that root tip this entire time and I just broke it. Okay. Anyways, I'm keeping the top as close to the top of the pot as possible because it crawls, and I'm trying to place it so that it has room to grow forwards, although there is a lot on the back end, which is probably why I placed it the way I did in the 4-inch pot. Alright, so here's what I've done, and it does look a bit overflowing, but I think once I water it, then a lot of that is going to go through and it's going to condense a lot. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll see if I need to take out some mix or what needs to happen. Alright, I watered it and I gave it fungicide so that hopefully it will lessen the effects of the damage I did on the roots. And I do need to take off a little bit off the top, just so that I'm not worried about the stem rotting away. Okay, there we go. Stem is completely above the soil level, and I'm so happy. My baby's finally doing so amazingly, and that's it, it's repotted. Now we just gotta see how it takes to it. I really do think there are gonna be a little bit of setbacks, but I'm really banking on that fungicide to kind of reduce the effects of it. But yeah, There she is. I'm so proud. I'm a proud plant mom. So that is it for my Gloriosum story so far. I don't think anything bad is gonna happen anymore, but I think that I'm soon gonna have a really giant Gloriosum leaf just like I've always dreamed of. And now she's living behind me in my IKEA cabinet so that she gets a lot of humidity and light, and whenever she outgrows it is gonna be so exciting. I'm definitely gonna show you guys how she looks with her great big giant pillowy leaves, and I am waiting for that day. I do have to say, rewatching those videos back, I feel like I could have saved the plant better than I did, but I know that at the moment I was literally doing the best I could to save that plant. Some advice: if you get a root run plant like that, just return the whole thing, just get your full refund, and then buy a slightly more expensive but actually healthy plant, because it's gonna save you a lot of grief. Although I don't regret keeping my plant, because now I have my beautiful Gloriosum that I feel very connected to, because it has taken 1.5 years. That is such a long time, literally 1.5 years for it to be like a stable plant that I know is not gonna die at a moment's notice. Wow, that's crazy. But I'm so proud of I'm so proud for surviving and everything. I hope that these videos have taught you some lessons that I wish I could have told myself. Yeah, so moral of the story: return plants that are root rotted, because the roots are the most important part of the plant that you get. And I even knew that. I said that in that first video, and I still went through all of this. But if anything, I hope that this has taught you guys a lot. You can learn from my mistakes so you don't have to learn from your own. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!